The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to take a look at the DAX like we usually do. We were expecting a little bit of a sell-off last night, and we've certainly had that happen. But if we switch over and take a look at what's happening, you know, with the FTSE, this is the one that looks really interesting. This is the 60-minute. We posted the daily many times. We're up here in this level where the big ABCD on the daily and weekly is up at this 17,750. We're trading at 17,753. This is a big ABCD. Whether it's going to complete or not, you know, still remains to be seen. So we need to watch that. As far as programming today, we're going to have Norm Winsky is going to be talking to us today about some of these cycles that we've been watching, plus his work that he's done on fractals look incredibly interesting. I think you'll enjoy that very, very much. But I wanted to start off with one of our charts from someone in the room who we highly respect and does great work, is Mr. Z from Philly. And I just wanted to bring this chart up that he brought up to our attention. This is the 10-year note going back over the last 14 years. And as you can see here, we really haven't taken the notes out as far as a monthly chart. Now, we're doing it on the futures, but remember, they roll those futures every month, so they're a little bit different in price. So we really haven't taken that out. That key level of 2.5%, we have broken down below that, and we haven't rallied. I mean, the fact that the Chinese came out and said, no, that was fake news, that they're even using fake news, that they were not stopping, their bond purchases. I don't know the fundamentals behind that, but Mr. Buffett said that they can't stop buying bonds, but, can't and won't or will are totally different things. So we'll watch that very closely. The notes still look incredibly bearish, folks, on any way you look at it. If you just take a look at this here, this was as of last Friday, that I put in the newsletter, the fact that we're looking for prices to drop about 6 or 7 handles from where we are right now, which is quite a bit. That would take the rates probably close to 3%, or maybe even a bit higher. But that's still a little bit early in the game. Now, the one thing I wanted to mention this morning is the euro. And this is really important, folks. I want to bring this up here because the euro just rallied 100 and some points in the last hour and 20 minutes, and I just wanted to bring this to your attention here. This is the chart of the ABCD pattern in the U.S. dollar index. As you can see, yesterday we were lower and then reversed and gained back most of it. Now we've given all of that back today plus some. Folks, that if you look at this chart really closely, there's a small ABCD that completed up here at this 92.50 level. If this market breaks below 91.20, can you imagine how bearish that's going to be? That means you're going to be taking out that D level, and that means you're going to be very, very close to the old lows back here in September of 90.75. And if you add that ABCD in there, you're looking at something at about 82 in the U.S. dollar index. That's going to make the euro go wacko to the upside. I mean, that could be looking at 130 or higher, easy, in the euro. So just watch this level of 91.20, because if we break below that, this is a very, very negative chart. But if it holds, it's still okay. But with this 120 pip rally that we've had here in the euro this morning, it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to be able to hold it, because if we get above that 121.20 level in the euro, that is going to be, very, 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 bullish to the euro, which would be bearish to the U.S. dollar. And that means some of these other currencies like the yen, the Australian dollars, and the Canadian dollar will also be looking around. But so far, they're really really getting ready to to see what is going on. The bonds and the notes still look very bearish in my opinion. The only way that would change is if we get back above 152 in the bonds. That's 3 handles from where we are right now. Then I would say yes, that would be pretty good. The euro chart. On the 10-year chart, that would be a normal retracement. But yes, you're right, Peak D. But you stop and think in a dollar amount. You're looking at close to 7 large. I mean, nobody wants to stand in front of a $7,000 move. It could still be bearish. You know what I mean? So I'm more risk averse as in my old age than I was when I was younger. So I would certainly, keep that in mind. But that key level in that dollar index, I don't know where the dollar index is trading this morning, but with the euro jumping 100 and some pips, I imagine we're down around that 91.60 level or lower in the dollar index this morning. But if we get below 91.20, that's not going to be a very good sign. That is something that would be really very, very negative. There we go, 91.69. And so thank you very much, Marshall. If we get below, 91.20, that's going to mean the euro is going to be above 121. And there's not a lot of resistance above there, folks. So we'll see to see how that ends up as we go through here. But that's one thing that I think is very, very important. When we come back from the this first break here, I want to talk a little bit about cycles because I think they're very important. But the problem is defining where they are, and I want to give a little bit of history of that as we go through. The gold has not really done very much yet. I mean, all we did yesterday, of course, was to have a $12 break from the high. Hasn't really done anything. The silver is acting weaker again. I'm still holding out for that 1294 level in the gold. Whether we get that or not, we'll have to be able to see if we get that. You'll be able to see this, unfold hopefully. And we got a lot of cycle stuff coming up here in January. Norm Winsky will talk about some of this at his section on the half hour. We'll be watching that very, very closely. Yes, we could easily make 137 on the euro. That would be a 61% retracement from the high of 160 and change down to the 104. That would take you up there. Believe me, the euro swings like, you just have to look at the long-term monthly chart in the euro, and you can see the monster swings that we've had. When this thing first started trading back in 99, my grandson was born in 2000, and it was trading at about 88, I believe. And from 88, I think it was 85, went from 85 to 160. And so these things have huge moves, that's for sure. But you don't want to stand in front of them. With foreign exchange, you don't have to. These numbers are so accurate on a shorter term and the longer term that all you have to do is to, wait and, pick the best shot that you can. And you'll be far better off. I mean, today's low in the euro was basically 78% of the previous move when we were down 180 pips. So it was certainly way oversold. But I have no idea why it jumped 130 points in a matter of an hour and a half. That takes a lot of money, folks. That's real serious money. So we'll take a break here. We'll get back and we'll talk a little bit about some cycles. 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you haven't tried David White's daily trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, then this month is your perfect opportunity. On January 17th at 5 p.m., Dave will be hosting a special subscriber webinar where he'll be presenting on the newest feature in his newsletter, short-term sector charts that work on both the madness and wisdom of crowds. Join Dave on January 17th as he describes the method he uses to recognize these signals on a sector-by-sector basis, and as he discusses how he used this new tool to buy the gold miners in their seemingly darkest hour in December. And all new subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. If you're a trader scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity, then now is a great time to sign up for the Path of Least Resistance. For all the information and for details on Dave's subscriber event taking place January 17th, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, I posted a chart of IBM here, and you'll notice it has some cycles. It's basically a 67-day cycle. There are two of them there. Those were nominal cycles. These came out of the book by Hearst, Profit Magic of Stock Transaction Timing. Back in 1970, there was a promoter named Ray Frechette that was promoting Cyclotech, which was basically a charting package using Hearst's work with nominal cycles and all the other 5 different rules that he had. And everybody was interested in it. The meeting was up in San Francisco. That's when I first met John Hill back in the spring of 1970. We've been friends ever since. And it's, you know, I just want to explain to you about some of these cycles because when they first came out, they was like magic. I mean, this was the easiest thing in the world to make money because the market would bottom we didn't have stock indices, but the commodity market would bottom, you know, every 16 to 18 days and then rally for 10 or 12 days. You know, that was the principle of high translation and stuff like that. But what I wanted to bring to your attention is what happened with these cycles. And let me just show you the next one. We use Tesla as an example here, but you could use anything, of course. But this is where we're looking at a Cyclotech was a charting package peak that came out. That's promoted the TEC, a Cyclotech was promoted by Ray Frechette. It lasted for about 4 years, and then when these cycles started to shift, it stopped working, and you know people didn't use it anymore. That's when I realized there had to be something more to it, and I believed it was astrology. During that meeting, Edward Dewey was there. From the Foundation from the Study of Science. Was that him or was it Gertrude? No, Gertrude Shirk was there. And Gertrude Shirk. I think Dewey had already passed away. Yeah, Gertrude Shirk. No, he hadn't either. Gertrude Shirk was there from the Foundation for the Study of Cycles and sort of gave him a thumbs up, which was really big. But if you'll notice here, all I did was put in a 31-day cycle, and you can see it here. But then you'll notice on the second half, since October, it starts shifting. It goes from a 31-day cycle down to a 22, and then a 44 and a 66. So these things shift back and forth. That's why I believe these cycles are astrologically related. So that's the important thing to keep an eye on when you're watching this. But folks, let me explain to you about cycles. And this is what I got from my good friend Mark Douglas. Let me show you. This is the most important cycle of all. I'm going to bring this up to you. This is the holy grail of cycles. Let me get this one up here. This is the holy grail of cycles right there. I took the prices, excuse me, I took the prices off, but this is it. This is what it's all about. And what does that mean? Let me just show you. This is from my good friend Mark Douglas. This is the most, it's the 9-inch cycle, folks. The one from your left ear to your right ear. If you get that cycle right, then everything else is easy. So it's all psychological. You've got to be able to believe in your system. You got to be able to protect yourself when you're wrong, because you're going to be wrong a lot. But focus on that 9-inch cycle. That's the one that will lead you to the promised land. These others shift and go out of phase and come back and do things just like they do in astrology and all the other stuff. But that 9-inch cycle, that's with us every day. And that's what you've got to be able to do, is to work on that one. And that takes a little bit of time. That's where you have to work on positive thinking, you know, either with using something like Anthony Robbins or W. Clement Stone, all these stuff. It's just really, yeah, it does look exactly like me. I know it's a photo. It's a photo, a recropped photo, Mark. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. When I first did this lecture, oh my God, 25 years ago, my daughter was, what, she's going to be 50 now. Can you believe? She's actually quite artistic. She actually made a little 9-inch cycle thing for me for the webinar. It wasn't a webinar. What I'm talking about, it was for the PowerPoint presentation that I did. And it was really quite funny. Anyway, that's what it's all about. You've got to worry about that cycle thing. It's the most important one. If you ever worked at Commodity Corporation, one of the things they had 2 full-time psychiatrists on staff there to help people, you know, with all the mental stuff that went on. And if you went through a divorce, you were automatically given a 3-month paid sabbatical. If you moved your family from one house to another, you got 2 weeks off. If there was a death in the family, you got a month or more off. And it was a death of a child, you have a mandatory 3 months off. And then after you came back, you were under peer review. In other words, several other traders were looking over your shoulder at all times, just watching your equity, because they knew that there was a possibility that, you know, something could really go berserk, and they didn't want to worry about that. So those were some of the safety things that we did, you know, during those days. So it's mentioned, it's something. Someone's asking a question about the J.P. Morgan Library. The J.P. Morgan Library, it's around 46th, and you can see Rockefeller Center from it. But you just go to the J.P. Morgan Library. It's his old home. The main thing is none of the really good astrology books are there. Most of the books there are related. He had the best collections of Bibles in the world. No one has a better collection of Bible than the Morgan Museum. But the most beautiful part of that building is the library itself. The ceiling is a reproduction of the skies, of the celestial skies, and right over his birth sign, which was April the 17th, that's where the secret passageway was, where he came down from his living quarters on his little elevator, and it opens up into that library. So if you get a chance to go there, it's really a beautiful place. A lot of wonderful pictures from the old days and stuff. But the library itself is basically about historical books, you know, going back to the Gutenberg, you know, machines and all that stuff. But none of the really the astrology books that were used, and that was done by Evangeline Adams. And Norm Winsky bought a lot of Evangeline Adams stuff many, many years ago. He bought quite a few of the books and she was his full-time astrologer. She died right before I believe she died right before the top of the market, or right after the top of the market in 1929. Norm would know that better than me, but I'm doing that from memory, and the old gray matter sometimes has a lot of cobwebs in it. So I thought that I had read that. I remember that what's his name? The Three Peaks in a Domed House. George Lindsay. George Lindsay. He died on August the 25th of 1987. That was the high day in the stock market. But I'm not sure. I'll ask Norm about Evangeline Adams. He will know for sure when she did pass away. But he had quite a bit of that. And we'll have Norm on in just a little bit to talk about some of these cycles that we're looking at, and also looking at these fractals that he works on that look extremely interesting. I wanted to bring Bitcoin up, folks, because a lot of news on Bitcoin. I still believe we're heading down to 8,000 on Bitcoin. We're right at the 78% level as of earlier today. It broke about 1,500 points, based on the fact that South Korea is going to stop this Bitcoin trading. And believe me, this stuff is not about Bitcoin trading. It's about blockchain stuff, and that's where the answer is. And we'll get right back with our good friend Norm Winsky of Astro Trend.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened, and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
The new one, you can get the old one back?
Norm, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to TFNN. Norm Winsky from Astro Trend. You've got the mic, buddy. Go after
I
it.
didn't realize we were there yet.
Yeah, we heard
hold
the
on,
whole thing. We heard the whole thing. No, it's no big.
Sorry about that.
No, not to worry.
I got this new
Skype
Skype thing. It's a nightmare, Larry.
Oh, tell me about it. TFNN had to reboot me to the old one because I just got so confused with it. I just gave up on it.
They know how to do that?
Yeah, if you ask Al, he can fix it for you.
All right. Well, I got to get a hold of him later. All right. How do I get to my? Maybe he can tell me how do I get to my screen share now. I'm on the white screen now.
This I don't know. We'll. You know what I could do? Hold on just a second. I can do this myself. Hold on just a second here.
Well, I need to see my notes. I can. I want other people to see my notes.
You don't need these. Here, I've got them right here. Let me get the first one up here, and this is the Norm Winsky interview notes. How's that? Start with that.
I can't see that, but just a second.
Yeah, I'll get it up here. I'll get it up here.
And he's unfamiliar with the new version. And to open, add, share your location. No, that's not. Oh boy, I changed it. I had where I could do that, but then I needed to talk to your guys there, and I got to the chat area there.
We Terre Haute boys have a little trouble with the technology.
Now, if I don't share my screen, are people going to be able to see my notes or not?
They're going to be able to see it because I'm posting them in. Them in.
Is it going to show up on YouTube then too, or not?
Yeah, I think they should. Sure, yeah. Well, hey, I don't know for sure, but I'm saying 10% maybe.
All right, hold on. I think they just sent me a message.
Okay.
What was that? I am unfamiliar. All right, they don't know. All right. Well, we'll figure it out later. Let me get my notes up. We got a lot of stuff to go over. So
yeah, I know we do.
That's crazy. All right. All right, here we go. So we're looking at the page one there. Let me get rid of this black box here. Well, probably doesn't matter because you can't see that anyway. And we're looking at the top of page one there. So when I was last on your show at the end of December, we had a big cluster coming up there over the New Year's weekend right before that. And one of the markets I featured because Uranus, which is connected to associated with copper, was about to go direct, and you and I were kind of looking at the copper chart, and it was had been going up for several weeks, and you and I were laughing about it. I said, "Oh, we're looking for extreme markets. What do you think, Larry? Is that an extreme market?" And you and I were laughing about it. It was like, "Wow, yeah, that's pretty extreme." And then guess what? I was on your show on the 28th, and guess when it topped? On the 28th, right there. So that was pretty good.
Yep, spot on.
It's pulled back. I think it might have made a little bit of a low here the other day. Yeah, I know you want me to talk about the big triple conjunction we had a couple days ago. And that's the Sun, Venus, and Pluto occurred in Capricorn. And Copper has two ruling planets. It has Uranus and it has Venus. And when Venus was lined up there with the Sun and Pluto, that's when copper made its low from that December 28 high, at least so far. It's had a little bit of a bounce here, and we dropped the move down from the 28th December 28 high was about 10 cents. I think it was a little bit more than 10 cents. So as you know, Larry, every handle, every whole number in the copper is worth $250. So that's a $2,500 move.
That's a big one. Norm, when we have a conjunction of Venus and the Sun, that's just like a new moon type thing, isn't it?
Well, it's a conjunction. It's a concentration of energy. Mm-hmm. Now, but the big deal is that we had three planets lined up, and that's kind of rare,
Yes.
Now, you get two planets lining up probably, Venus and the Sun probably get together like once every year or two, right? Mm-hmm. But the three-way deal there, that's rare. All right, anyway, so there we're going to move ahead now because I got a lot of material to cover. When we did have the three-way there on the wee hours of the 9th, that was Tuesday morning between 2 and 4 a.m., The night before, I sent out an update and an email update to my clients and told them that coffee, because everything was lined up in Capricorn, and that indicates coffee, that we wanted to take a look at coffee. And then I looked at the chart. This is the chart. This is the next day, but the night before that, coffee was trading about 124 or so, a little bit higher. And I said, I'd like to see the coffee have some sort of selling, a little bit of a selling climax, pull down to at least 121.5, and then it turned out the next morning pulled down to about 122.5, and that was a nice low. And then we had a 3-handle rally, which would be coffee. If you're not familiar with coffee, every handle, every whole number is worth $375. So there was about $1,000 there. Now, I also expressed concern. I had some other trend lines on that chart, and that showed that there was that we'd broken some support back here at about 125.5. I said, but I'm not too optimistic about this being a big turn, a turn where we're going to get a substantial rally. I said probably at best we'll just rally back to the old support line there, and that's what it did. Because since then it's now given back most of that rally.
For sure.
All right, S&P, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Yes, sir.
You got the mic.
End of December there. Here's where you and I were at, or the stock market was at on the end of December there, at the top of that. That's more recent. I'm sorry, more recent. Back in the end of, here we go, back here in the middle of the chart, where that green arrow in the bottom middle of the chart is. That was back on December 29. We had Uranus going direct over the New Year's weekend, and I was on there a couple days on the Thursday. And it looked like we had been going up. I was thinking that we're going to make a top there, but then we kind of had what I call a aversion move. That's where the market makes a move. These station points is one of my top things. The other top thing is when the planets get to zero latitude. Those are both polarity points. We'll be talking about that more in a minute or two. And so anyway, when it's like there's a big magnetic pole up there, and it usually high percentage of time usually like has a climax to the top or the bottom of the range for the previous few weeks. But every now and then you get the exception where it moves back the other way real quick, and then you're probably going to turn right around and have an acceleration. And that's what we had into early after the opening on Tuesday, the 2nd of January. Once we took out that late December high, boom, I told the folks, if you're short, you got to cover your shorts, and if you're so inclined, go the other way, because we're probably going to big rally if we take out that high. And that's what happened. So anyway, we went on the big rocket ride here, and so far in January, right?
For sure.
Alrighty, so now we're moving ahead here. Oh, here's a 10-minute bar chart. Now we're coming up to into the end of this week, and that's I ask you to come on your show here, Larry, because at the end of this week we got another big window. We got Mercury's going to get to zero latitude. I think I mentioned that coming up here. We'll be covering that here in a minute. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here's all your coming events coming up starting today. All right, starting today we have a sort of a moderately big a thing happening with the U.S. natal chart. That's a natal chart is you take a snapshot of the planets at a particular moment when something begins, like somebody's born or a country is formed, and U.S. is July the 4th, 1776. Oh, we got music time, right?
Yeah, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk to you about this new moon coming in Capricorn the day after the holiday, okay?
Sure.
Okay, Norm Winsky of Astro Trend. We'll be right back, folks.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Norm, I have great news for you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
We've got your charts. You're in charge of the charts. They're posted in the den, so go right ahead.
Okay, and I think I found over the commercial there how to just get back to my screen share, and I hopefully got that on the screen now. So
Okay,
anyway, I'm going to kind of accelerate this a bit because I think we're short, a little bit short on time. We have a big cluster of cycles for indicating U.S. financials, so that's your U.S. stock market, T-bonds, and dollar, with an emphasis on the dollar. Got big cycles pointing for a big change in trend for the dollar over this 3-day weekend, okay? We also have Mercury, one of my top things I mentioned, when the planets go direct or retrograde, and the other thing, another category is when the planets get to zero latitude. Those two categories of things can not only change trend, the markets bring a change in trend. The markets can bring a change in polarity to markets like the stock market, where on your Bradley model will get flipped upside down, and then you'll throw it in the garbage or something, right? Because you're mad. Right? Some people have even been known to stop looking at Bradley. I don't know, but anyway, so I stumbled on a pattern over many years. I said, oh, look, this thing flipped upside down, and there's a station point. And that's when the planet stops momentarily relative to the Earth. It looks like it stopped momentarily to the Earth to go direct or retrograde. And so that's how I figured that out. And I started noticing when the planets get to zero latitude was doing the same thing. So anyway, there you go. You got here's the markets on the screen there on page 3 that you want to watch for. So your risk financials due to Mercury, you want to watch your grains. And again, the stock market. And then we also have a little smudge of a little pinch of cocoa, coffee, hogs, oats, stocks, and T-bonds. All right. So and then here's some dates for the stock market. Right now, Larry, this is the 11th of January. You might remember, Larry, that this is the 45th anniversary of the January 11th, 1973 top.
That's where the Dow was at 1,020 or something, wasn't it?
I got to 1,061. So I got a quick story. Yeah. So 2 days before that was President Nixon's birthday. The Dow had trouble getting over 1,000 for many years. It kissed 1,000 first time in February 9th, 66. And then every time it got near 1,000, it would turn around and run away. It couldn't ever get over 1,000 until we got to early January 73. President Nixon held a press conference for his birthday on the 9th. And so the reporters, being the good sheep they are, to notice the Dow Jones was in the headlines, making new highs. And so one of the reporters asked President Nixon if what he thought about the stock market and the economy. And President Nixon said, "If I weren't president, I'd be buying stocks here. All Americans should buy stocks."
Then it went to 500, right?
And then 2 days later we topped out at 1061 on the Dow. That's the actual print at 10. Back in the old days, there when they used to do those accumulating theoretical highs and lows, it made the number was 1067. And then over the next 23 months, we had the worst bear market since the 30s. So there's a lesson there in math psychology. President Nixon was a reverse barometer. So anyway, I got some big math coming up here too. We got we're at music math. I'm not going to go into how I do that, but mathematics and music, Pythagoras and math and all that sort of thing. It has 6502 in math days from March the 24th, 2000. I bet you remember that day, Larry. That was the top of the S&P for the internet bubble top. So we got several things. Oh, and this is, by the way, this is the 45th anniversary, and 45, of course, the Gann loved the number 45. That was at the top of his number list there, 45. And so all these things are pointing to right about now. So, okay, there's your S&P. I got a date coming up here astrologically on looking at turning points for the S&P for Monday the 16th. I do Fibonacci time cycles. If you take my class, I'll teach you advanced Fibonacci. And that's for today and also Monday to Tuesday. And then we have a couple of astro dates coming up here for tomorrow and Monday, and not Monday, the 16th is Tuesday, where Monday's a holiday. All right, looking ahead here, I was telling you about polarity points. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate now how valuable this is and how you can fix your Bradley model. I do my own version of Bradley. I loved the concept when I found that book down there at Honey Creek Square, Larry, at the Croc and Britannia's bookstore. But anyway, so to make a long story short, over the many years, I noticed that it would tend to invert at times, and here you go. So Mercury turning retrograde there over the December 29 weekend. And I had that as a point, and then we started going down. And then the next point was Mercury at 0 north latitude. We're going to have the opposite here this weekend. And look what happened. See, this original line, the original model, without these adjustments, was straight down. It was a 45-degree angle for the month. But I adjusted the line based on these points. So then I flipped the line going the other way. It's inversion, and it rallied all the way till Venus got to 0 latitude right there, and that was near a high. And then we had a little pullback, shallow pullback there, and the Mercury going direct. And then we rallied up to Uranus going direct over this is December, over the December 29 weekend. So I think I made a major advancement into fixing the Bradley model. All right, now we're going to go to fractal land. Okay, this stuff is amazing, and it's so simple that I can't really tell you how I do it. I'll give you a few clues. But you have to take my class because I could teach a 10-year-old to do this in 10 minutes. That's how simple this is.
Could you do somebody who's 77?
We'll have to work on that one. No, just kidding.
Go ahead.
No, anyway, so it's based on the January price action each year. So I can't publish the forecast for the year until February. But then I get the blue line. The blue line was the forecast line for the year. And then you can see the black bars were overlaid after the fact. Just a few days ago, I overlaid the black bars, and there you go. There's coffee. Looks pretty good on the page 5. And then we're going to zip ahead here now. Here's copper has been a perennial winner on this model, this forecast method. For the last several years, it's almost always good. Oh, by the way, here's every now and then they do invert. Let's see if I can find a good example of that. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go to about September 26th. You know, there's a spike in the actual black bar prices. If I go down to the blue bars, which we're forecasting a low, and if I put my little pointer there and go straight up, guess where you land? Right about at that peak there. So it gives you good timing even when it's upside down. Okay? There's your copper. I'm going to zip ahead now to here. I put this in for you, Larry. I know you like the euro, and look at that. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Page 7. Okay, I got 27 markets. I do this in a separate publication for my letter. Here's your yen. It's been another one of my perennial winners there every year. This one, the yen is good. You see that? So I don't know if you have a yen for the yen, but there you go. Okay.
Don't lose your day job, Norm.
What's that?
Don't lose your day job.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then here we have here's my intraday stuff. And you can see here that, this was yesterday. Yesterday, a 1-minute bar chart on the S&P E-mini, and the big geocentric event of the day, not real big, it's kind of a small cycle, but the moon was 120 degrees of Neptune at 2:40 p.m. Eastern time, and look what happened. That's that low right there in the afternoon, and then from that point to the minute, it was to the minute, and then the market rallied about 6 handles into the close for 6 handles is about.
How many 1-minute charts can you follow? Do you just follow one S&P, or is that what usually follows you?
Yeah, I usually just for intraday just do S&P E-mini,
And you're looking for the major aspect that day, and then mark that time.
As you saw, last time I was on, I showed you one of my pages where I have it all organized on a nice page.
Yeah, you do a great job with that. Oh, we got a commercial, and then we'll be right back with Norm Winski from AstroTrend. Stay with us, Norm.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Norm Winski of AstroTrend. Norm, we've got a couple of minutes here, so fire away with what you need to say.
Righto, so we're on page 10. I just thought because it's January, I compiled my numbers for all of 2017. We take a quick look at that. My best market, this is based on the percent, that my signals work, I gave you an opportunity to make money or not. And my best market was cocoa, 87.10%. Mr. Z, call me, get a chocolate fix. And and there you go. And here we go, coming down. I only had 2 markets that were under 50%, and I had a whole bunch of markets that were a lot better than that. And I got an overall average. There's about almost 30 markets on here, and I got an overall average of 70.88%, which is, I think, it's supposed to be pretty good, right?
Yes.
And so now we move ahead to tell the folks how they can learn all about this. And it's all free. And if you mention Larry, you get the free with the money back guarantee, right, Larry?
Yep.
Actually, it's if you mention Larry twice, you get the double your money back guarantee. So anyway, I've been doing this a long time. I'm a former member of the CBOE and traded on the Board of Trade CBOE floors back in the 70s and 80s. And I've been doing this a long time, so I got a lot of experience and been doing this letter for 39 years. And you can learn these different methods and in depth, the Astro, Fibonacci, fractals, all this stuff. And I got a free class. You call me right away. We'll get you in line. I only can do a handful of help a handful of people every month. So let's see. How do we get a hold of Norm? Okay, here's Mom in Florida in the USA. There's my phone number down here, 239-594-3939. There's my email, nwinsky at embark, embarqmail.com. Or you can call me on Skype once we get your guy gets my Skype straightened out at norm.winsky, right? So that's it. Any questions? We're at the end here, Larry. I think we got it all covered, right?
You did good, and we'll have you on. And next time we have something really important, we want to thank you for joining us here at TFNN, Norm Winski of AstroTrend.com.
Righto. Email me
thank
and
you,
you'll get you in line for a free class, and I'm looking forward to helping some folks.
Okay, thank you, Norm.
You bet. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.